While heading north from Rock Creek Caverns, I stumbled across a broken down truck. Inside towards the end was a table with a number of goodies just sitting there. I was distracted, so distracted that I didn't see the sign, but what I didn't see, I heard. With the cowardly raiders taken care of, I turned around and was a little disappointed in myself for not seeing the sign. Oh well. At the back of the truck we can loot a personal footlocker for a Chinese Army Spec Ops training manual, and on the table is a mini nuke, a US Army 30 handy flamethrower recipes, and a stim pack. If your lockpick skill isn't high enough, you can find the driver's key a few feet in front of the driver's cabin. All you have to do is just walk straight forward until seeing a skeleton surrounded by empty whiskey bottles. Nearby is a wooden crate, and underneath is the key. I waited inside the truck until morning for better footage and headed closer to my destination. Nearby I found a small group of Brahmin. Majestic, aren't they? I also found a Mr. Gutsy and a Talon Company mercenary. Hey, here's something new. Did you know that an exploded Brahmin head has the same pieces as a human's? Well, it does. As for the nearby town, it's similar to all other towns. Rejection letters from Vault-Tec, skeletons wearing scraps of pre-war clothing, and mutated enemies that want a hug. Not this time, buddy. Nearby the ruins of the town we find the remains of the Corvega Factory. Out front is the employee car park and several wrecked Corvegas. In one corner is a cautionary display of cones to stop people falling down and joining the trash bin. How very thoughtful. Around back there's a crushed truck, and just beside that is a container full of radioactive waste. Beside the barrels of green goop are two dead Wastelanders, a dead mole rat, and a big book of science. The only thing I can think of here is the Wastelanders were reading the book and thought they could use the waste for something useful. As they were figuring out how to move the barrels, a mole rat climbed inside. The survivor, if there was one, would have likely been a human who succumbed to radiation sickness, since mole rats are immune to radiation. Or maybe the mole rat bled out, I don't know. I was pretty surprised to see the warning message pop up since there was no signs of my character getting irradiated or ticks from the Pip-Boy. Very strange. Nothing a couple Radaway won't fix though. With the outside searched, we can head inside. Straight away we can hear ants, as well as see their eggs too. Just above a hanging clutch is the body of a Talon mercenary. Now there is a lot of ant egg clutches, so instead of repeating myself every time, just use your imagination, and whatever number comes to mind when I say a lot, there was that many. Moving on, atop the receptionist desk is a lying Todd Howard style skill book and 20 darts. Passing under the walkway with the dead merc leads to more ants, and a view to the outside where the ceilings and floors to every story have collapsed. Now there are stairs leading up, but first let's check some pockets. The mercenary doesn't have anything out of the ordinary. For some reason, I felt inclined to take the assault rifle and start using that. Not sure why though. Across the walkway leads into an office with a hole in the wall. Inside we find a big book of science, and not much else. Heading through the hole in the wall leads into a corridor with a door on the left. This office also has a hole in the wall, and I think it's from the ants not really knowing how doors work. Despite the ants' low intelligence, we find 5 308 rounds and follow the corridor past a display model to appear at the top of the stairs across from the walkway. The double doors are already open, and we can see the body of a raider. He ain't sleeping. The door on the left opens, but the passage has collapsed. Inside the raider's pockets are 7, count them 7 44 Magnum rounds. Yoink. This place has a lot of toy cars, doesn't it? I can't tell if these two are racing or not, but I'm gonna make them crash. With playtime over, we can go over to the only door left and see that it leads into the Corvega Factory. That's a lot of ants. With the immediate threat taken care of, we can start combing through the factory to see what there is. Other than the car doors, hoods and bumpers, which there is a lot of, we find the box with the ability to pass through solid objects. You must teach me your ways. A first aid box, a bunch of railway spikes, and 20 darts. Then I discovered the Queen. She was not friendly. Running past and avoiding her volatile spit leads to the back end of the factory. Climbing the metal stairs leads us to more pockets, although they don't really have that much. The best thing here is the 2 Stimpaks and the Dean's Electronic Skill Book on the table. With the factory searched, the only thing left to do is deal with the Queen. The reward for this ordeal? Ant Queen pheromones. Might not seem like much, but there are only 4 of these in the entire game. 3 from Queen Ants, and 1 from Cindy Cantelli in Rivet City. Not sure where she got hers from though. And there we have it, the driver's key, the Corvega Factory, and the giant Ant Queen. If you've enjoyed the video, then consider leaving a comment, liking the video, sharing it with a friend, subscribing to see more, and enabling notifications to avoid missing any activity. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next adventure.